I made this shirt in about 10 minutes. Let me show you how. My mother made things, and her mother made things, and I made things. And I wanted to wear something this summer that said that out loud. There's something that happens when you put on something you made yourself. It just fits differently. Not the fabric, more like the feeling, like you're wearing proof of something. I think about my grandmothers a lot when I'm in my studio. They sewed everything, curtains, pillows, clothes, you name it, from scratch, everything. And they didn't call it a creative practice, and they didn't call it self-care or any of that. They just made things because that's what capable women did. And somewhere between her generation and ours, we got the message that making things was quaint, or that if you weren't selling it, it didn't count, or that your time was better spent doing something more productive. But I don't believe that. And I don't think you do either. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. The design I'm working on today says make something beautiful. 3 simple words. And they're from Proverbs. And the verse says, she delights to work with her hands. And I chose that specific verse because of the word delights. Not she manages, not that she finds time for, not that she has to, she delights. And that's a whole vibe in that word about what it means to be a woman who makes things. So I built this design in Kittle, and then I transferred the design to my printer's software, and the whole design took me less than 20 minutes. The printing, you're about to watch it, so come along. So this is my apparel printer, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on specs because the machine just isn't the point. If you have an iron and a piece of iron-on transfer paper, you can do a version of this. The process is very similar, and the feeling at the end, it's the same. So I'm printing on a super soft Bella canvas tee and a very light putty color. It feels very light and very intentional. And if you know anything about summers in the South, it means it's going to be hot and you're going to be outside and you want to be comfortable and you want to look great while doing it. I want to say something while the heat press is warming up. We talk a lot in this brand about making things for yourself, and I mean that. But this shirt, this is for every woman who taught me how to make things. My grandmothers, my mother, my aunties. These are the women in my life who handed down something without ever calling it a legacy, but you knew it was something special. And that's what Proverbs 31 is really about. Not a perfect woman, not just a busy woman, but a capable one. A woman who shows up and builds things and makes things and teaches other people to do the same. So we're gonna let this heat up. I think it gets to about 320 degrees. I think that's my pressing temperature for my particular design because I'm doing DTF. It requires a different kind of heat. And then I'm gonna put it on 10 seconds because I like to give it 10 seconds. And then once I'm finished with that and it's cooled off, then I'll take it and I'll press it again for another 5 to 7 seconds. I do have it at 170 pounds. That's what I like for my particular machine. If you are using inkjet transfer paper, I suggest that you read the instructions and do the time and temperature that it tells you to, either with a heat press or with your home iron. And so I'm just gonna get my t-shirt prepped. This is the t-shirt that I mentioned, Love Bella canvas t-shirts. And I'm just gonna lay it here, but I'm not gonna do anything with it just yet. But I do like to press out the moisture in my shirts. So whether you are using a heat press or an iron, make sure you go over it and get the moisture out. These shirts, any t-shirt really holds moisture and it will affect the way that your design adheres onto the t-shirt. So you want to make sure that you get that moisture out of it before you do the actual pressing of the shirt. So Once this heats up to the temperature that it's supposed to be, then we'll give this a quick press. We'll get the design on and press it, and then we'll let it cool off a bit, peel it, and then we'll press it one more time for the final press. Looks like we're at 320, so let's go ahead and push this in. And we're just gonna let it heat up for maybe 7 or so seconds, 7 or 8. It's not a real exact science, but you do want to give it at least 7 or so seconds. I let it go the full 10. It's fine. And then I typically like to go 3 fingers down from the top of the neck, but I know that I don't want to get the neck pressed on here because it'll mess with the design. So I just do 2 fingers down from the top. And some days, if I'm feeling like super lucky, I will eyeball it. Other days when I'm not feeling so lucky, I will fold this in half and try to find basically the middle point. So I have myself some type of reference point for the middle of the shirt. I have my 2 fingers to the top of the design. And then I just kind of hold it up, see if it looks even. And it does. And none of this is a perfect science. Like, you can do it however you want. There were times when I used to fold the shirt in half and press it. If I'm doing a job for somebody, I'll usually take that extra step. If it's just for me, I'm like, if it's crooked, like, who cares? Because it really is just for me. But I try to do it the correct way. So then I put a Teflon sheet on top so that I don't burn my shirt or have marks on my shirt. And then I'm just going to push this in. And you can put it on automatic. Sometimes I have it on automatic where it just comes down on its own. Sometimes I don't. If I'm doing a bunch of shirts one after the other, I'll put automatic on. But usually if I'm not doing a bunch of shirts, I don't waste the time to do all that. So then put my Teflon sheet to the side. I'm gonna take my shirt off. And I usually just like wave it to get the heat kind of out of the shirt. So then I'll just lay this back up here because now I'm getting ready to peel it. And then I'm going to press it one more time. This time when I press it, I am going to put parchment paper on top. And I do that because I like for mine to look matte. If you want it to look shiny, then use your Teflon sheet again. All right, and we'll go back into the studio for the final reveal. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. 10 minutes. And I'm gonna wear this over and over again this summer. And someone's gonna ask me where I got it, and I'm going to be able to say, I made it. And that conversation is going to mean something, both to me and to them. Now remember, if you don't have a printer like mine, and some people don't, here's what I want you to do. Go to your local craft store or go online. You just need to get iron-on transfer paper. If your shirt is light like mine, get light iron-on transfer. If your shirt is dark, get dark iron-on transfer. And you just need an iron. It costs less than $12 a pack just for a few sheets. And then you can design something super simple. Even if it's just the words, make something beautiful. In a font that you love. Print it on your home printer, cut it out, and iron it on a shirt. If you don't have a shirt, iron it on a shirt you already own. Same result, same feeling, I promise. If you want to make this exact design, I'll have it available for download on my website for free. We love free. So summer is coming, and I know a lot of us spend the entire season making sure that everyone else is having fun and everyone else is taken care of. So here's what I want to ask you. What would you make for yourself this week? Not next week, this week. Not for someone else, for you. Something that says something true about who you are. Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you make something, anything, I want to see it. Please tag me. So yeah, she delights in the work of her hands. And so do I. Now it's your turn. Go make something beautiful. It's good for you. Toodles.